from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
Welcome back to KPIX 5 this morning. The time is 8 o'clock. I'm Melissa Kane.
I'm Phil Matier. Dozens of protesters set up a tent city right outside the home of Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf. We have this video from last night outside of the mayor's home where a group known as Anti-Police Terror Project is holding a 96 straight hour protest leading up to Martin Luther King Jr. holiday on Monday. They're holding signs asking Mayor Schaaf to take action on homelessness in Oakland and her quote, corporate agenda. The group is also protesting the Trump administration. Meanwhile, the feds are giving San Francisco more than $40 million in grants to help fight the homelessness as well. The money comes from the Department of Housing and Urban Development's Continuum of Care program, and it's going to go toward permanent housing and rehousing efforts, as well as the addition of 31 new housing units in the Tenderloin, Soma, and Mission Bay areas of the city. This morning, recovery crews in Santa Barbara County are still slowly making progress as they dig away masses of mud, boulders, and other debris from last week's deadly mudslides. The search for victims in Montecito has entered its 5th day, and at least 19 people have been killed. 5 others are still missing. Now, some residents in the area have not only lost their homes, they're now slowly losing their businesses as well.
I think it's going to be tough for all of them. You know, I know that they really want to open. My mom was telling me all those stores, you know, they lose business every single day. I was thinking about this inn, right? It's now not functional. So, you know, the longer the recovery takes, the harder it's going to be for them to bounce back.
The good news is that crews say that they've removed enough debris from the creek canals to prevent another potential disaster when the next storm hits.
And the Mavericks Big Wave surfing contest in Half Moon Bay is on hold this morning. Officials say it's missing one thing: the waves. According to the World Surf League, the conditions are not suitable for the competition, and the 40-foot waves just aren't being produced. We spoke with a local Half Moon Bay surfer who says a lot goes into creating those unique waves.
The tide to the swell, the period and swell height are very critical, as well as the direction that the swell comes in from. So big waves, anywhere between 20 to 40 feet usually, maybe bigger, and you need good wind conditions.
Now, some people in the area say they're happy the event is postponed. They say they'd rather wait for the perfect waves.
And we have sad news to report about the flu outbreak. A San Jose mother has died just 48 hours after coming down with this year's aggressive strain. According to the Mercury News, 40-year-old Katie Thomas was a marathon-running mother of 3. She is now one of 42 Californians who have died since the flu season began on October 1st. The flu has reached epidemic levels in the U.S. In the Bay Area alone, there's been 1 death in Marin County, 1 in Solano County, 6 in Contra County, and 5 in Santa Clara County. And this year, experts say the flu virus is especially active, and a predominant strain known as H3N2 is one of the more vicious types.
People in age groups that we don't normally see sick or hospitalized are being admitted to the hospital because they're presenting with severe symptoms.
Now, according to the Center for Disease Control, 20 children nationwide have been killed by the illness, and there are still 3 months left in the flu season.
And can politicians be on the hook for sanctuary cities? Now, Thomas Homan, the interim director of the Department of Homeland Security, told Fox News that public officials should be held personally accountable and criminally prosecuted under laws against harboring unauthorized immigrants. San Francisco District Attorney George Gascon is an elected official who has been an outspoken advocate for sanctuary policies. So we asked him what he thinks of the suggestion that he be criminally prosecuted.
I cringe at the concept of a politician talking about going after other politicians because he thinks that whatever they're doing is not feeding their political view. You know, this is red meat for the base. This has nothing to do with operational reality, and I quite frankly resent that very much.
Well, the Department of Justice says that it's not ruling out going after politicians, saying the department is working with ICE to explore, quote, any and all potential options to go after cities and states that limit assistance with deportation efforts. Organizers gathered more than 95,000 signatures for a ballot measure in Santa Clara County. The measure would recall Judge Aaron Persky. Now, the recall effort stems from the judge's sentencing of former Stanford swimmer Brock Turner. Critics feel the sentence for Turner's sexual assault conviction, 6 months, was too lenient. Organizers submitted the signatures to the registrar of voters this week. And it's still not clear when San Francisco's Board of Supervisors will vote to select an interim mayor. Board President London Breed has been serving as acting mayor since the unexpected death of Ed Lee, and she's now running in a June special election to serve the rest of Lee's term. But some say that between now and June, we should have a new mayor, one with no stake in the June election.
Meanwhile, the mayors of 10 cities, including one here in the Bay Area, are challenging the Trump administration's stance on marijuana enforcement. Mayor Pauline Cutter of San Leandro took part in signing a letter to U.S. Attorney Jeff Sessions. The letter urges Sessions to rethink his decision to roll back the federal policy that gave low priority to prosecution of marijuana offenses in the 28 states that have legalized it.
And GOP Congressman Darrell Issa, who said earlier this week that he is not seeking re-election in his district, which includes parts of San Diego, but he has been discussing with colleagues the possibility of running in a neighboring San Diego district. And that's according to a new report in The Hill. Multiple sources told the newspaper that Issa would do it if the district's current member of Congress, Duncan Hunter, resigns. Hunter is facing his own potential legal trouble for campaign finance violations. An Issa spokesperson has yet to respond to the report.
And 6 candidates for governor gathered for a town hall meeting before a packed and very vocal group in Southern California. It was the first meeting of the major candidates, 2 Republicans and 4 Democrats, on the USC's campus. Lori Perez shows us what the conversation and the controversy was all about.
The candidates held nothing back on the first question, reacting to the president's recent reported comments on Haitian immigrants.
Clearly, he's a racist.
I don't have the luxury of calling somebody a name and then deflecting the issue.
And explaining how they'd work with him.
How can I work with him? With great difficulty, obviously.
We're going to challenge President Trump on the issues that are absolutely critical to all Californians.
Their responses drawing a mix of applause and boos.
The question for all of us is, are we going to be the center of the resistance, or are we going to be a positive alternative to the agenda being pushed by the Trump administration?
All the Democrats on the stage want to deflect from the true issue, which is illegal immigration.
With questions from how to fix the state's transportation problems and help the homeless to how they would be different than Governor Brown in handling natural disasters, the pack divided mostly along party lines, but not always. The biggest distinctions and the most shouting from the crowd came while answering if they support single-payer health care.
And single-payer won't work unless we get significant contributions from the federal government.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please.
3 or 4 times in the last 6 months, you said you were for it or against it. Now you're doubling down and saying you're for it, and you don't have a plan.
Well, look, I'm interested in facts. That's just factually untrue.
As for whether the candidates are doing enough to distinguish themselves, depends on who you ask.
I hear a lot of politicians just repeating the same thing, like we want to improve this or this, but they don't have a plan.
I thought it was great. I got to know all the candidates, and I feel more informed and ready to make a decision.
June 5th is the state primary. The top 2 vote getters, regardless of party, advance to the November election.
Eagles made history last night against the Falcons. They became the first team to go from being a #1 seed to being an underdog in their first playoff game. That's because they no longer have that man, Carson Wentz, out with a torn ACL. But with a minute to play, Eagles leading 15-10, 4th and goal from Atlanta. Matt Ryan looking for Julio Jones right through his hands. Philadelphia pulls the upset. They're moving on to the NFC Championship game. Tom Brady and the Patriots were 2 touchdown favorites against Tennessee. They covered that spread. Tom Brady threw for 337 yards and 3 touchdowns. The final one to Rob Gronkowski. New England wins 35-14. They're moving on to the AFC title game. Warriors Steph Curry back after missing 2 games with an ankle injury. Second quarter, Klay Thompson put Toronto's Serge Ibaka on the ground, knocks down the jump shot. Golden State scored 81 points in the first half. Wow, 30 seconds left. And now a 1-point game. KD knocks down the jump shot, and the Warriors, after leading by 27 points, hang on for dear life. They win 127-125. It's overtime in San Jose, and Arizona kicked in the goal, the decisive goal, and San Jose wins 6-5. Mark Edward Vlasic got credit for that goal in overtime, and it was indeed a thriller. More NFL playoff football today on KPIX. We'll see you with a complete wrap on game day tonight at 11:30. Starring Tim Kawakami. I'm Dennis O'Donnell. Have a great Sunday.